Choosing the right platform to sell digital products can make or break your success. So should you go with Etsy, Gumroad, or maybe even both? In this video, we'll break down the pros and cons of each one so you can pick the best one for your business. So we'll be covering pricing, discoverability, customization, earning potential, and my personal recommendations. And of course, at the end, I'll give you a summary of everything and a free resource to help you get started on your store. So let's look at the two platforms. What is Etsy and what is Gumroad? First, Etsy is of course a globally recognized marketplace, primarily known for handmade stuff, homemade stuff, vintage accessories, and of course also in more recent years, digital products. So it provides sellers with an existing audience of millions of buyers that help you search for unique and niche products. So Etsy is a more beginner-friendly platform, has built-in SEO, traffic generation, but it comes with fees and competition. Gumroad has gotten some traction in the recent years, and it's designed for creators who want to sell directly to their audience without that marketplace and without that marketplace competition. So it offers complete control over pricing, branding, and the customer experience. It's really ideal for those with an existing audience and those willing to invest in marketing efforts. So the key difference is that Etsy offers that exposure within its platform, while Gumroad provides a greater independence, but of course that also comes with greater control. So think of it like this. Etsy is like renting a booth in a street fair or a farmer's market with lots of foot traffic, while Gumroad is like opening your own store in a quiet neighborhood. You need to promote it and bring those customers to yourself, but it also gives you more expression of freedom and control. So let's look at pricing. Etsy fees. So for Etsy, there's listing fees of 20 cents USD per product listed. So whether or not the item sells or not, you already have to pay those 20 cents per item. Those listings expire after 4 months, and then they are renewed every 4 months. So you're basically paying 20 cents every quarter per product. So of course those fees can add up, but if you even just have a few sales, those will be covered. So let's say you have 10 products every quarter, you're paying $2 USD every quarter to have them listed, no matter how many times they sell. Even if you sell 100 or if you sell 1, that listing fee stays the same. Then you also get a 6.5% of the total sale price, so including the item price, shipping, gift wrapping, everything. So this fee is deducted from your revenue after each sale. And then in the US, Etsy also charges a 3% plus a 3% of the item and a 25-cent per transaction fee. So some processing fees vary by country. Only talking about the US right now. And again, these things change very, very rapidly, and they change every now and then. So of course, for the most up-to-date numbers, please do your own research and look at the Etsy website. But as of right now, these are the fees. So just to summarize, 20 cents USD for listing the product, then 6.5% when you sell it as a total sales price, and also a 3% for the payment processing, and a 25-cent dollar for the payment processing. So if you don't sell anything, you just have to do 20 cents per product listed, but then if you sell the item, on top of that you do an additional 6.5% of the total sale price, and then a 3% of the processing fee plus a 25-cent fee also per transaction. So of course these are a lot of fees, a lot of numbers I just threw at you. Again, make sure to keep up with the most up-to-date numbers off the website. So let's give you a offsite ads fee as well. If a sale is generated through Etsy's offsite ads, you also pay a 50% fee, and if it's over $10,000 in sales per year, it's reduced to 12%. So sellers are automatically enrolled, but they can opt out if their annual revenue is below that threshold. So these are a lot of fees and a lot of things you have to take in consideration. Of course, how expensive your product is and how many you sell, and if you have the runway in the beginning to support all that. But it really isn't that much if you think about it. It's really 20 cents per product. Of course, if you sell a $1 product, there's not going to be much left. But if you sell a $10, $20 product, if you only have a couple of sales, these kind of fees will add up, and they do get annoying, but they will definitely be worth it in the long run. Now let's look at Gumroad. So Gumroad has a transaction fee. For the free plan, there's 10% of each sale that goes to Gumroad, and then for the paid plan, which is $10 a month, you have a reduced fee of 3.5%, offering better margins for those high volume sellers. So if you have a lot of sales, you of course want to get the paid plan. It's a flat fee of $10 a month, and then it reduces from 10% to 3.5%. So even if you have a handful of sales with the number of products that you have, most likely it will be worth it for you, but again, you have to do the numbers and math yourself, as is a very case-by-case basis. And then unlike Etsy, there's no listing fees for uploading products. You can have unlimited listings, no upfront costs, and there's also no additional payment processing fees. So looking at the pricing structure, Gumroad is definitely more attractive if you just look at the fees and pricing, because just to summarize, basically Gumroad has a 10% fee of every sale. That's basically it. And if you do a paid plan of $10 a month, it reduces to 3.5. That's it. And then Etsy basically has a bunch of fees, just a 20-cent fee per product listed, and then of course all those transaction fees and payment processing fees, and also offsite ads fees if you want to add those, but you can opt out of those. But again, make sure to do your own research on the websites. I'll be putting up a quick graphic on the screen. Of course, you can take a screenshot to kind of break it down more simply, but Etsy fees can add up quickly, while Gumroad offers those predictable costs and scalability. So think of Etsy's fee structure as like paying for a spot in a popular marketplace where you share that revenue with the market organizers because they provide you with that SEO and that discoverability, right? So while Gumroad is like running your own shop where you only pay that commission when you make a sale. So of course the costs are low, but you also have to take into account the marketing and the traffic that you have to drive to Gumroad yourself. So talking about discoverability and marketing. So Etsy has that built-in search traffic with millions of users searching daily. Etsy is a huge website, as we all know, has millions of users, millions of accounts and sellers. So sellers benefit from that Etsy search algorithm, right? And it's also just like YouTube, like any other discoverability platform, it has that search algorithm. You have tags, you have categories where you can optimize it and use that SEO to drive those organic sales, right? While the competition is high, it does require the optimization of your listings with strong keywords, visuals, graphics, videos, titles, whatever you can use to optimize that listing, right? So that's a whole nother video I will be dropping on Etsy optimization as well. And it is an art form, but just like with every ranking, SEO is part of the game. With Gumroad, there's nothing, right? There's no built-in audience, there's no search function, there's no marketplace. Success entirely depends on driving traffic through your means. So through your social media, through your email marketing, collaborations. It requires somebody to click on the link that you provide them, right? They can't just go and search a Gumroad marketplace. And of course you have your storefront with your multiple products if you have, more than one, but it is entirely on you. So it requires that proactive marketing strategy such as content marketing, ads, whatever it is you use to drive people to your site. So it's great for creators who already have an established following, right? If you're somebody with hundreds of thousands of followers, it's probably better for you to just open a Gumroad link and put it in there. But at that point, I'm assuming you already know what you're doing anyways. But either way, Etsy offers that passive traffic opportunity, right? Sometimes I've gotten sales that I just put up and without even doing marketing, they just get sales because people find the link organically. It just happens. It's just a fact if you have good optimization. And Gumroad just requires that intentional marketing effort. So selling on Etsy is kind of like having a stall in a crowded mall, right? Where people naturally walk by. Like Gumroad is like opening an art gallery. You need to attract visitors through advertising and your own sales tactics. So customization and branding. For Etsy, the customization is a little bit more limited. Sellers kind of have to conform to the Etsy store structure and branding. Of course, it does still offer you enough freedom to express yourself, put up your banners, your profile images, and your product descriptions, right? Those are the customizable elements. The Etsy branding does dominate, right? They have their own logo, their own website, and of course, because it's a marketplace, people will see reviews in the bottom with recommended other products of other people and other sellers. That's just how it is, right? You're going to be in other sellers' websites, but they're going to be in yours, right? It's a give and take. Just like with YouTube, there's recommendations and so on and so on. So in the beginning, of course, it can limit the ability to stand out, but at some point, it will also help you. So again, depending on your case-by-case basis. With Gumroad, there's a lot more control over the branding. So you have custom domains to personalize product pages. You have options to embed products directly into personal websites, customize really the entire customer experience, right? So it does allow for better upselling, for better email capturing, and better customer relationship building, because this really helps you collect those emails. You can do a newsletter. You can use that to advertise other products, right? So it is a great way to really get in front of that customer relationship. If you just care about getting those one-off sales every now and then, I would recommend Etsy. If you're looking to build that community and build that network that you can then upsell and re-engage with other means, then I would recommend Gumroad, right? Gumroad provides better opportunities for building that personal brand and retaining your control rather than just getting a sale and letting the customer go off. So think of Etsy like renting a space inside a chain store where you just must follow their branding rules and random customers come in. Like Gumroad is kind of like designing your own boutique exactly how you want it, and you get those high converting customers that you can take control of. So let's look at profitability and scalability. So the Etsy profitability does have competitive pricing required due to that marketplace saturation, right? It's a marketplace. If you're making a Notion template, if you're making a Canva template, if you're making anything, chances are there's somebody popping up with your search, right? It's very, very hard to do something completely unique nowadays, and that's fine, but you just have to have that competitive edge in mind, right? Competitive pricing, competitive optimization, and so on. And then of course you have a little bit of lower margins in comparison to Gumroad due to those fees, but you have access to a larger audience. So you have to kind of figure out what works for you. So that scaling does require managing multiple listings and a higher sales volume. Looking at Gumroad, the higher margins do come into effect because of the lower fees, especially on the paid plan, but you don't have access to that marketplace, right? So it is easier to scale through upselling and direct marketing because you have more contact to the customer, because they click on that link that you put out on your ads, on your social media or whatever. They click on it, they go through your store, and that's all they see, right? So it is best suited for creators selling that premium products and trying to have recurring customers. So the key takeaway here is that Gumroad allows for more control over pricing and high profits, while Etsy offers that steady traffic. So think of Etsy like selling lemonade in a crowded park. You get a lot of foot traffic, but you need to keep prices competitive. Gumroad is like offering a premium lemonade subscription where you attract those specific customers that you want and you control the pricing and the customer journey. So that is it for Etsy versus Gumroad. Just to summarize, Etsy is really more for discoverability. If you want to put a product there and not put a lot of marketing in it, or you don't have access to a lot of marketing because you don't have the funds to run ads, or you don't have the audience because you don't have a big following, use Etsy, put it on there and see how it works. And Gumroad is also for people that have that growing community. They can send those links directly from their YouTube, from their Twitter, whatever it is they use. But of course, as you know from my channel, I use both. I use Etsy and I use Gumroad just because Etsy does allow me to have that discoverability, but Gumroad also allows for that customization. So I do put most of my products on both marketplaces, just also to see which works better. But if you want to check out my digital products, make sure to check the description, and of course get the free ChatGPT cheat sheet that I have provided in the description below as well, which will help you optimize your listings for Etsy, for Gumroad, and I've put some other products as well. So check out my Gumroad store for all those links on those free goodies. Other than that, make sure to click subscribe and check out my other videos. So thank you for joining me, and make sure to put your thoughts in the comments below. Which one do you use? Which one do you like better? See you next time.